the whispers gather. Conservative minds debate the future. From tax cuts to border walls, strategies clash like a political rally. Frustration brews in the chambers. As always, meet new challenges. Dissenting voices rise up, seeking unity, but finding divides. We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. Though the path is rocky and long, we march forward with hearts full of song. Policies debated, votes cast. In the shadows, and doubts are fast.
All right, here we are for Rebel Republic, the best political talk show in all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Delaware, New Jersey, New York. It doesn't matter. You're either with us or you're against us. And with me, as always, he is the voice of reason himself. And he is not related to RFK, as one of our commenters questioned. Frank Cristiano.
Yeah, the reason. That's me.
And the Coach Schumann.
Frank was related to RFK?
Yeah, we got a lot of vitriol from some of the reels I posted. And Tyler actually got into a Instagram fight with somebody about a reel that I posted about him. A guy, Tyler was ready. They wanted addresses. They were literally going to meet up and fight. So
that's just stupid.
It's getting hostile. Yeah. It's great. I love it. So it was pretty hostile. If I showed you, I read Frank some of the, comments. They were going back and forth. Corny. You didn't think it. See, I told Tyler to tone it down, that someone would show up with a gun.
There's no reason to go back and forth with anyone. Most of the responses are idiotic. If they're level-headed responses, you can always respond in kind because they're level-headed.
Well, no, this wasn't level-headed.
That's what I'm saying. So why bother? I agree,
but do you think Tyler has that mentality?
Well, then that's the problem. So then let him figure out himself.
It's a political show.
No.
You got to be able to handle the good with the bad.
This is an MMA show.
This was on his MMA show because he made.
Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, I don't want to.
He made a comment about Ronda Rousey striking.
I don't care.
Nobody cares.
Really don't care.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
There's WWE.
All right, stop with the WWE.
There's MMA above it, and then there's everything else way above it.
WWE. Yeah. WWE is the best.
Yeah.
So
WWE is fake.
Yeah.
You want to get me going, Dave? You got to use the F word.
It is fake. I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
There is nothing about the WWE that is fake. It is choreographed. The finishes are determined. The action is real and painful. It's not fake.
I'm not saying it's not painful, and I'm not saying that they're not moving. But it's fake.
It's fake. Okay.
So the guy comes off the rope, and then the opponent sticks up his leg with a heel sticking out. He just runs into the heel off the rope. Doesn't see that heel coming out.
It's sports entertainment. It's a big boot.
Yeah, it's a big boot.
Didn't see that one coming.
We're not going to talk WWE anymore. This isn't a WWE anymore. Trump threatened to strike Iran's oil heart and threatening to send Marines to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. I said it right.
Yes. That's a nice job.
It was within 48 hours. And Iran threatened to attack water filtration units to deplete water supplies to numerous Middle Eastern countries.
Are they going to pee in them? What do they have left to attack?
That's what I was wondering. I was going to ask that. They've been decimated by us. How could they even launch such an attack? And do we even know who's in charge? Was my question.
Yeah. No, we don't. And I don't think you will. But right now, The news today was exciting for the market and for the country because Trump had said that we've had almost 2 days of great negotiations with leaders of Iran, and we're getting close to they're close to accepting no nuclear weapons, no military weapons, no keeping the strait open. They're close to making an agreement. The problem is that it sounds like they're negotiating with the parliament leaders of Iran, the politicians of Iran. They are not negotiating with the Iranian Republican Guard leaders and the I don't know if he's dead or alive, but the current president or Shah of Iran or whatever you want, not Shah, I should say. What is he? The Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah. Yes, show him the proper respect.
Show him the proper respect.
Yeah,
He's dead.
Well, they'll get another one eventually.
How many leaders would be leaders of a country and a movement and never show their face or talk once they're elected a leader?
Well, Bin Laden did.
They don't want to get bombed the second they show their face.
Yeah, right. I know.
Well, Dave, what were your thoughts on this? The threatening of opening the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, Iran coming back saying they were going to decimate our water salt plants so we wouldn't have clean water to the Middle East.
What I think about it, I mean, I think that the Iran is trying any tactic they can to slow down the process of them getting overthrown. So.
They're grasping at straws, pretty much,
I
right?
think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that they have the capabilities to do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
so probably don't.
I didn't either.
Well, the problem is the Iranian Guard is fragmented right now.
Yeah.
There could be dozens of sects or sections that are on their own control and
you
not
said
following
sex.
SECTS.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was on my mind.
Yeah, they can have
you mentioned my
dozens
porn
of areas.
Before,
I know you do have one. Dozens of areas that would have weapons capabilities, but are not in contact with any formal leadership. So basically, they're on their own. And when you see one or two, 5 missiles are launched at Israel, that's just one single area, one single unit that just said, "The hell with it, let's launch some shit."
So NATO calls us a paper tiger for not letting Iran shut down global shipping. How is that not the direct result of years of Democrat globalist weakness?
Explain that question again. I didn't understand the question.
Well, NATO called us a paper tiger for not letting Iran shut down global shipping. And how is that not the direct result of years of Democrat global weaknesses?
Wait a minute. You're saying that we did not allow Iran to shut down global shipping?
We should have called their bluff. That they wouldn't be able to.
On what?
Iran shutting down global shipping.
Correct, but we don't need to call their bluff. The shipping companies need to call their bluff.
Okay.
Until these companies, and they don't want to risk lives. And the lives are not the issue. They don't even care about their lives. They don't want to risk billions of dollars sailing through the strait and possibly being taken out by a drone or by a mine or by something that Iran had.
Oh, you think that's really why?
Of course it is.
Because of a drone strike or something taking out the shipping.
Well, that's what they're threatening the Strait of Hormuz with. What do you think they're going to attack?
Yeah, but you just said they don't have anything left. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not saying that they have zero left, but they have very limited resources left to continue to wage this kind of covert operation of sending in drones or launching a missile or dropping mines, since there's no ships anymore. Basically, they have no more ships. How are you going to drop mines now? Yep. So there's a lot of
I agree.
A lot of in-depth things you have to look at. But bottom line, it's until the companies give the okay to sail through, nothing's going to be challenged. Now, once the U.S. protects the ships, then you might see something. You might see some sailing through.
Yeah.
And who cares what NATO says?
No,
honestly, who gives a shit?
NATO's a joke. NATO's done nothing.
People keep saying we need these friends, we need these alliances. You don't need anything.
NATO is the paper tiger.
We don't need anything. If we stepped out of NATO, there would be no NATO.
There would be.
There would be, because they can't support themselves.
So I was listening to some news today, and obviously, Dave, there's the discussion going on about the ICE agents that are in airports because TSA, has been backed up. People are getting to flights 4 hours early, not making their flight. And ICE is apparently causing disruptions just by having their presence there. And basically, the guy on Fox said the Democrats love this because the media can show the long lines and blame it on Trump, blame it on the Republicans, and it gives them use when the midterms come around to blame him. What are your thoughts on that as far as ICE agents being involved with TSA, being visible at the airports? And do you think this is a deliberate tactic or strategy just because they want the media to give a bad look to Trump to get some votes back in the midterm?
Yes to all of it.
Really? They would purposely do
So-
that?
Would the Democrats purposely do that?
Yeah, that you would want to ruin families' vacations and lives by doing that?
Yes.
Oh,
Can a
okay.
blind man see?
I'm just shocked that they would want to cause that much chaos, and just for
Democrats.
10-minute, a 2-minute clip on the media on the nightly news that the TSA, the lines are backed up.
Listen.
I can't. And your music's still playing, by the way.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Now is it playing?
No.
Is it playing?
No. So that's why I was shocked to read. I was shocked to see that.
I think that the
motive behind it was that.
ICE, I mean, the Democrats have zero interest in getting this thing done.
No,
So,
they don't. They want to
They're
drag it
trying
out
to
as
just
long as
create
possible.
chaos. They do not care about you as Americans. Their job is to create. That's what they do. Create chaos. I heard there was a plane accident today.
Yes. It was an Air Canada at LaGuardia. It actually landed, a smaller plane, but it landed.
Oh, small plane.
And it hit. I mean, when I mean smaller plane, maybe they had maybe an 80-seater, 100-seater.
Okay, so small planes go down all the time.
Yeah, but it didn't go down. It actually landed on the runway and it ran into a fire truck.
Oh,
Yeah. It sounds like one of the air traffic controllers took the blame. I don't know if they cleared the fire truck in time or didn't. Obviously, it didn't clear it in time, or if the permission was given to the plane and there was no notice of a truck coming across. But literally head on, the front of the plane struck the fire truck. The 2 pilots were killed immediately. The stewardess who sits in front of the plane and is actually strapped into her seat flew out of the aircraft on the collision and landed on the tarmac with her seatbelt still strapped to her. They got you at the seatbelt on. She is alive. And the 2 guys in the truck were injured, but I think they're going to be okay in the fire truck. But it's and they had like 40 go to the hospital. It's a crazy thing because, man, what's the fire truck doing crossing the lanes like that, not knowing if it's cleared or not? I don't know.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. Did that happen this morning or was it later in the day?
Late last night, 11:30, 11:40 last night.
Okay. Well, the Senate just confirmed Mark Wayne Mullen to run DHS after Kristi Noem got the boot. Why are Democrats still suing to protect illegal criminals while Trump tries to secure the skies and secure the border? That is the biggest misnomer to me. They got Kristi Noem out of there, and the Senate voted Mullen in. He's securing the border, and the Democrats are still suing. They're still making it an issue at every level with the courts, with appeals, taking it longer and longer and longer for the deportations to occur.
Steve, they need a win.
You said
Steve,
that.
are you up for deportation?
Dave, why would I be up for deportation? I am an American citizen. I was born here. Are you up for deportation?
Possibly.
Yeah. I'm not actually. My birth certificate says I was born in Utica, New York, so I win.
Forged.
I have a forged birth certificate.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. No, they need a win. The Democrats do not have a win. Since Trump has been in office, give me the point where the Democrats have a win.
When they cheered at during his State of the Union address and wouldn't stand up,
and
for
the
him.
Democrat side wouldn't stand up.
That was their win.
That's
Yes.
their win. Yeah. Well, it actually looked like a big flop. So they're going to obstruct and delay and scratch and claw and do whatever they can. They
What's
don't like
amazing is their rationale and the people that are Democrats that I know that are Democrats, like they don't see it's amazing how far apart people are. They don't even see this as being like the Democrats taught the whole thing. They actually think it's Trump.
Right.
It's crazy. I can't even imagine how people think. On the other side, it's they talk and I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. The things that people say.
You know why, Dave?
We're the Republicans are in one country. Democrats are in another country. Candace Owens, Tucker, and every conspiracy theorist is in another country. And then there's like 3 countries going on. You know
why, Dave? It's the reason they can do it all in Trump because it's easy. Everything was calm and peaceful before Donald Trump entered the political room, and the reason is because
it was
everyone was
warm
allowed,
and fuzzy.
Everyone was allowed to do what they wanted to do, undocumented and undiscovered, in the covers of darkness. They were able to steal. They were able to manipulate, maneuver, change votes. They were able to do billions of dollars of fraud and taken from this country's federal government. They were able to bring in millions of illegal immigrants who some come here in great pretenses, great purposes to be able to start a new life. And many came in here to cause chaos or to get away from criminal records or where they were in different countries. And they were also brought in to do what? To create chaos in the voting system. You don't know who's who. You don't know what's what. Many of these states give out licenses. In Massachusetts, you give out a license. You need no documentation.
No.
You don't have to be a citizen to get a license. You just put out what your name is and you get a license right away. And those are the things that hurt this country. These are things that take down the fabric of this country of being who we are and being able to represent what we want to represent. And so bottom line, that's why everything was great. Now Trump comes in and he's honestly, pardon my French, but he's fucking everything up. And that's why they can whatever's not working out for you. You know what I mean? If you got a bad hip, it's Trump's fault. If you got a bad hip, it's not your fault that you haven't worked out or stretched in 10 years. It's Trump's fault. It's so easy to blame everything on that man because bottom line, he's the one in the spotlight right now, taking all the hits and still progressing. I don't know.
So Dave, I didn't know if you had seen this or not. Our good friend Sean Rabinowitz had posted on LinkedIn an article about healthcare. How there was a lawsuit going on at Yale Health.
Can I try?
What?
Ed, I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay. So there's
a lawsuit at Yale.
Yeah. So this is what he wrote. He was very frustrated by this, and I was shocked to read it. You know what we talked about, his son Ben, who had cancer, needed a bone marrow transplant. So he wrote, having been through this personally, this is a tough one to identify with. If this is a January 1st renewal, stop loss carriers generally locks in the risk with disclosures roughly 90 days out. if I use my son's case, he had leukemia, come back in October. We went for a bone marrow transplant in January. That would have come post-disclosure. Prior to 90 days, he was in remission, and a transplant wouldn't have been on the radar. He still might have been on the large claim list, but if they lasered, it wouldn't have been anything near the amount needed to cover the transplant post-care cost. So basically, at Yale New Haven Health, the insurance company is being sued for not paying $4 million for a worker's bone marrow transplant, because that's what Sean's son needed. So
Yale's insurance didn't pay. Who didn't pay it?
So Yale New Haven Health Services would not pay, and they contend that in a federal lawsuit that an insurance company has failed to pay the $4 million to cover an employee's the bone marrow transplant, and this is against Liberty Mutual, the company that covers Yale New Haven Health employees' transplants. It was $5.2 million with a deductible of $1.1 million. And they're saying that this is absolutely absurd, that they would not cover their own employee. And Sean was saying, because he went through this with his son, Ben, had this policy taken into effect. I guess it's within 90 days or whatever of the procedure, he would have been on the hook. His claim would have been denied for the transplant. So now they're having to sue to recover the costs. And we were just talking about healthcare in general. And I mentioned what Frank said about it, how if Trump could figure out healthcare, that would be the icing on the cake, basically making him the greatest president ever, or at least of our generation. And healthcare essentially has significantly increased because we are required to cover the costs of illegals, correct?
Well, I don't. I'm not.
I don't know that that's the. I don't know if those are direct links.
Agreed.
You don't.
No, I think that there could be an increase in costs from some of that stuff. Yes, I think the overall direct. There's a lot of more things that go into the why insurance companies are turning things out, why they don't want to cover
policies are okay.
Why they're trying to get people on the hook. Why hospitals are charging what they charge. It's a big problem overall that's multiple faceted. So that you're bringing up one facet, that might be one facet of something, but I think the bigger issue, I mean, healthcare is a monumental problem. I think we've talked about this before. I don't know what the exact solution is on it, because I would need to know all the things and the information of what's going into the costs being so high. So without knowing all of that, without really knowing what is like, why would they turn that down? Like, I would need to know why they actually, I'm sure to give some crazy reason, which is ridiculous, but there's some factors that they're cost wise that it's like a circle of problems within the healthcare system. So, I think those things are terrible.
But it's determining life and death.
There's not a human side element to this, but obviously, when you get the costs of all these things are so extremely high, and I don't know what it is that drives these costs. I don't know if it's bureaucracies. I don't know if it's.
What if the government took it over, Dave? I don't like government healthcare, but what if the government took it over and made it nonprofit?
Well, isn't that what universal health care is? It would be the government running it.
Universal health
I
care
think
would be that,
Obamacare is the biggest problem
right?
as far as what accelerated all this.
I agree, but
I
what
don't
I'm
know
saying is no profit.
What?
What I'm saying is that the government would run it with it as a nonprofit. In other words, medical
Like the VA?
coverage would be right. It would be a nonprofit organization. Now, the thing is, you've got to
VA
regulate it better.
struggles, though.
What's that?
The VA struggles.
Yeah, the
mightily.
VA struggles because that's mismanaged. So if the government manages this, they'll probably mismanage as well too. But all I'm saying is, if we take out the profit factor, and we're able to get cheap prescription drugs, and the medical care can be supervised, and the payments can be doled out in a fair way, and we're not looking to make any profit on it, there's got to be a way it should be much more affordable.
Well, the group that I think that's a nonprofit that does a good job, hospital-wise, is St. Jude.
Yeah.
Whatever St. Jude does, and how they
Follow
cover
that
these
model.
bills for these kids.
By
What's that?
donations. By donations.
Is it really?
There you go.
Is it really all covered by donations?
St. Jude, yeah, and it's a small fragment of the country. Obviously, obviously these are special cases with
It's kids, so it's easier to get kids, so it's easier to get money.
Right?
I would
Yeah.
guess.
So yes. So,
It's harder to get empathy for adults.
right, but consider
In the
our
same way.
consider our payments to be a donation. In other words, we're going to have to pay into them. I pay $2,400 a month for my family. That's $30,000 a year. I'm going to have to pay something, even if it's federalized. Even if it's taken over by the government.
Do you think the government should get rid of property taxes, and with that money that comes back to us, we give a portion of that to healthcare?
Yeah, but then your communities would have a very difficult time balancing any kind of budget without property taxes.
They can't balance it as it is.
Right. So imagine taking away whatever they have coming in from yearly property taxes.
They could have an influx. Would you have an influx? Well, if everybody was doing it, then you wouldn't have an influx.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you had more money, you'd have more in your pocket. You have more spending money. Would that impact community enough to make up for the loss?
But it's just crazy to me that your basic life and death decisions are being made by third parties. A bone marrow transplant.
It's even worse than that. I think the doctors as well are not as good because of it.
They're not. No, they don't want to get into medicine, and there's not as many world-renowned specialists because of it. Because they are also, they're charging a lot more, but doctors are being paid less and less because of it as well. I wanted to ask, because I mentioned this to Frank, I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Our good friend and my hero, New York City Mayor, Mr. Mamdani, he's under fire for backing a plan that would slash. Yes, there it is. New York's estate tax exemption by nearly 90%. A move opponents say could drag middle-class families into a tax burden long aimed at the rich. New York is one of the states that imposes its own estate tax in addition to the federal levy, and the proposed changes would dramatically expand its reach, potentially sweeping in not just the wealthy, but families whose primary asset is their home, that they hope to pass on to their children. So the plan would sharply, this is what I was telling you.
It would go from $7.5 million. In other words,
Yes.
$7.5 million, but anything under that, there'd be no estate tax. After $7.5 million, then you're paying, and I don't know what the percentage is, but he wants to do now, reduce it to $750,000, and then you would pay a 50% estate tax for anything over that $750,000, which is insanity. Basically, you saved up your whole lives just to give it back to the state.
Yes, the plan would sharply reduce how much an estate can be passed on tax-free. So cutting the threshold from 7.35 million to just 750,000 among the lowest in the country, meaning far more estates would be subject to taxation. I have no idea what any of this means, so can you talk to me like I'm a 2-year-old, which is normal?
Yeah, bottom line, when your estate gets passed on, there's a tax on it. There's all estate taxes in every state, but $7.5 million, the first $7.5 million will be protected. You don't have to pay anything.
Oh, okay.
That would be yours. After that, let's say you got $10 million total, $2.5 million, you'd have to pay a tax on that $2.5 million back to the state. Now, if you reduce it to $750,000 and you have a $10 million estate, basically 90% of your estate is being taxed at a 50% rate.
That's what it was saying.
So you're going to have to pay $4.5 million out of your $9 million back to the state. It's insanity.
That is insanity.
It's insanity. What did the state do to deserve that? Nothing.
That's what I was questioning. How would it affect? Because he's the mayor of New York City. How would it affect everyone in the state?
Well, for it to pass, Hochul has to pass it through the whole state. You can't just do it in the city. It's going to be it's going to be a statewide law.
So you're saying his proposal would go into effect for everyone in the country, in the state
of New York, but
God.
That's the governor passing that.
Yeah.
If she passes that could be a death knell to her right now.
That's ridiculous.
Everyone should be going insane. You should be going insane.
And in addition,
middle class will be so affected.
They'll be done. Mamdani is proposing to more than triple the state's top estate tax rate, raising it from 16% to 50%, a combination that could generate billions in new revenue for New York. Now, my question to you, if that is done, the new revenue, what would it go towards?
More social programs.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to go to the people.
It's going to pay off your counselors that are going to go to police. You keep hitting me in and out here with a button or something. I'm losing my sound there. It's going to go to counselors to show up on these police forays. It's going to go to daycare. It's going to go to probably free education. It's going to go to everything but what the state needs is to pay off its debt and to be able to service its public correctly.
And several experts have said this proposal would destroy New York City's wealth in a different manner. The estate proposal will mistreat capital and result in the voluntary exodus of New York City residents and their wealth to places like Florida and Tennessee.
Just like California's lost everybody too. And let's not forget that bitch that he married. Okay? She's a racist bitch. Really? And you can go back to her
she's as racist as it gets.
Her ex accounts that she just deleted, where she called people the N-word. She called black people the N-word. She called out Jews or haters of Jews, haters of white people.
Everyone
that's not an Arab. Everyone that's not a Muslim.
Oh, she's a Muslim.
And these are the people we've brought into leadership. These fools, these young fools of New York City.
That's why I love it.
I understand they're under a mental control because they can't afford to live there. So they're really depressed. And they're trying to figure out a way to do it. And some guy comes along and promises them everything they want to hear. And they put them in the office. And now all of a sudden, you see what's going on? They're leading prayer services in the police departments in the morning.
The police departments?
They're leading Muslim prayer services in the police departments in the morning. I'm telling you right now.
So it's his goal in the next 6 years, New York City is going to be predominantly Islamic.
I don't know what the goal is. The goal is to make it welcoming and much more. What you see in England and what you see in Germany and what you see in France and what you see in Denmark and Sweden, that's what's coming here. It's coming here. There's nothing you can do about it because they've been allowed to do it. They've been allowed to come in and infiltrate and assimilate because you know why? We're empathetic.
Yes.
As a country, we're a country of immigrants. We believe in the immigrant process. We believe in supporting immigrants. We're a country of immigrants, and now we don't want to look racist by saying to a certain ethnic group or religious group that you can't come in, or we got to hold off on you because you guys are crazy.
But you're not empathetic.
What's that?
You're not empathetic.
Absolutely
no.
fucking no. Absolutely not. It's ridiculous.
You don't feel bad for people.
I don't give a shit about people. Honest to God, you need to help yourself first before you can help anybody else. Help yourself.
That
first.
is very true.
Help
that
yourself.
Is very
first.
true.
No.
Dave, we've been talking very much here about gas and oil and electric prices. Niagara Mohawk, that's our carrier. Frank paid a fortune last month. Working families are basically having to choose between heating their homes and feeding their kids. Can you name one Democratic policy that actually has lowered costs instead of basically they want to print money and throw it at the problem and call it progress?
I can't name any policy.
I mean, Frank, have they created any policies that have been productive?
Who's this?
The Democrats.
No, there's nothing to create right now. They can't get anything passed. What policies are they going to create? They're the Republicans.
I mean, even before Trump came into power, have they created any policy that you would say was progressive?
No. Well, progressive without a doubt. The LGBTQ policies, the gender bathrooms policy. They brought in as far as DEI policies.
Yes,
policies,
DEI. They were fantastic.
All those policies were implemented.
And Trump dumped them.
And I just think I don't know. I understand the whole DEI issue.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. You don't understand it.
No,
you can't.
No, I do.
You don't. You
because
can't.
Bottom line, let me tell you something.
You're not black.
I can tell you right now, from talking to enough black people that I know, the bottom line, when there's a job interview, they ain't calling in a lot of black people. They're going to interview more white people or more Asians and more ethnic. They ain't calling in black people, and the black people they come in, they're not giving them a fair shake. I'm telling you right now, it's just it's a natural inborn racism. The whole country has it. It is what it is.
I agree.
Now it will filter out over time.
Well,
and the problem is that during COVID, when Biden was voted in, they wanted to snap their fingers like Thanos and get rid of the whole racial issue in this country.
Thanos from Marvel?
Yes.
Oh,
they want to snap the fingers like Thanos, and they want to get rid of the whole racial issue thing overnight. And it's not going to happen that way. It's slow steps. It's taken 150 years or whatever to get where they are now. And it's going to take a little bit longer. But generation after generation of kids are developing into better people. They're a little softer, but that's okay. But they're developing into better people where they're going
too many feelings.
Where they're not going to see where they're not going to see that they don't see race initially.
No.
Right now in this country, unfortunately, there's a huge segment of the population that sees race right off the bat.
Yes, I agree with that.
Right? If a black man walks into a restaurant or to a bar or to whatever, it's not a guy walking into a bar; it's that black guy walking into the bar.
Right. No, I agree with that.
So I'm not. It is what it is. But I think we're getting over. I think we're progressing. I think we're doing well. Are we 100 for 100? Are we batting 1,000? No. Is it going to happen eventually? Yes.
Dave, right now there's several current events. What would you say is the most important to get solved? The Iran war and the fallout from it, putting in leadership, elections, DHS, chaos, sky high energy prices, midterm fights, and endless Democratic obstruction, like Chuck Schumer, who blocked. Did you just get up and leave? Oh, who blocked a chance to reopen and start paying TSA? But again, they have drawn. I know. I
idiot.
I wish lightning would strike Chuck Schumer. I can willingly say that because it's a hypothetical.
I hate Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer.
He is
a self. Everything is for himself, and he's just
he's done everything wrong.
He's got to survive. I just sent you a.
He's a greedy politician.
I just sent you a video message. If you get the chance to pull it up and play it, if it's possible. He's fighting for his survival.
Yeah,
He's
because
fighting
you
for his
believe
survival.
AOC is going to take him over and have a chance
he's
to.
fighting for his survival. He needs to, because he hasn't done anything positive in office since starting at the first Trump presidency. He hasn't done anything.
So, okay, they go in and they have meetings or whatever. What does he do? Does he bring up points and say, "Oh, we should consider making this policy or passing this bill"?
No.
Or does he just wear a diaper and sit there?
He's there as a leader, but bottom line, he's going to take in everyone else's opinion, and they're going to tell him what to do. He is the mouthpiece, because unfortunately, he's the Senate minority leader.
Yes,
but he's not the driving factor. As much as Chuck is a Democrat and a weak Democrat, he's not a far left-leaning, liberal, flaming Democrat. He's not. But he has to act more and more that way every day because of the people that are in office in the Democratic Party right now. They are way far to the left of the needle of where the country is.
Completely way to the far left. Dave, I wanted to ask you right now, the Democrats, their only platforms, in my opinion, are they want to impeach Trump, raise taxes, and open borders. How do you think that has worked out in the last 4 years? Because they basically tried it all.
They're losers, man. The Democrats,
that's what you said last week. The one word you said, losers.
I can't discuss their policies
because
their policies are so ridiculous. Everything they do, it's like it's opposite day. You remember with George Costanza?
Yes, he did the opposite of what he would normally do.
He threw all questions to the wind.
Yes, it was great. His life got better.
What? For the Democrats, it's everything that you should do is really the opposite. That's what they do. And they do with a smile on their face. And they're telling you that you're racist while they're doing it. And, it's absurd.
And Frank, you mentioned this. And
I can't even argue with Democrats anymore. When I get
because you can't get anywhere.
They start telling me things that are just so absurdly irrelevant.
Trump, Trump, go. So you and Frank both said this. Working class minorities basically have seen through the Democratic.
I didn't get anything, Frank, by the way.
I sent it on TikTok. No, nothing.
Oh, you sent it on TikTok.
I'm sorry.
Working class minorities basically have seen through the Democratic grift. Now they are targeting white, liberal college students instead. What do you think of this plan?
Who's targeting white liberal?
Democrats
are targeting white liberal colleges to do what?
To carry on their message, to vote.
They're going to.
Because they can't go after the minorities. They think minorities that have either been deported or they have seen through the grift.
The white liberal person is very easy prey because they have a sense of guilt.
Empathy. Guilt.
Who's leading that prayer?
What's that?
Who's leading that prayer?
It's NYPD.
That from Donnie?
No. It's NYPD.
That video was of NYPD doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it's Mom Donnie leading it with him.
Is
Mom
it?
Donnie.
Is it?
Please see if you can play that.
Yeah, it's NYPD.
I gotta see this.
I don't know. Does the NYPD in the morning have a Christian prayer?
I don't think.
I don't think you can get in there and go.
Mom Donnie.
Is it with Mom Donnie?
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that.
Yeah. Oh, I can. I can believe it. I'm just saying. What? I mean, I just don't see if it's fair for one, it should be fair for all. So we should be able to go in there and lead in other words, the Christians should be able to go into Times Square and hold mass maybe every day. Again, you're flipping me on and off here. I don't know why, but we should be able to go and lead mass every day in Times Square. If they're going to go and pray in Times Square, we should be able to go, do mass. Why not?
Well, then you should basically be able to go carry Confederate flag as well.
Why? Why is there? No, that's different.
Well,
that's different.
Nazis are religious.
No, they're not.
Oh,
that's different. That's more of a hateful organization that has been outed years ago. Being a Christian is not being hateful. Unfortunately, the left thinks that without a doubt. White Christians are nationalists and they hate everyone. It's not true. White Christians want to be able to be heard as well as anyone else in this country and in the community, and they want to be able to have their rights respected as well as everyone else. White Christians should not have to feel a guilt factor for what their ancestors did 200 years ago.
Exactly. Okay? I agree with that. Right. Yes. Dave, one of the guys that wants to be a guest on our show, his name's Rob Hill. He's a hyper conservative. This is something he really believes. He's very angry. People like
Is that Mom Donnie though?
It is Mom Donnie.
Oh my good God. Frank, I know you're agnostic, but you need to pray tonight.
I pray every night.
Yeah, you better pray tonight because that was just awful. But my man Rob Hill, he's been infuriated over. He calls them the Democrats, and the IRS he calls the Income Reduction Squad. He believes Gavin Newsom, Kathy Hochul, and the gang, basically they're a gang, and they're suing to protect illegal invaders, and he thinks they should be locked up for treason. And he wants to know how this is not treason against American citizens who are paying bills to fund these people.
Who are we talking about?
The illegal invaders, the illegal aliens.
Well, there's no more of them in here. The borders have been closed now for the last 8 months.
There still are illegals.
So, yeah, there's some still here, but that was happening. That funding was happening since 2019 and 20. When the caravan of illegals, of immigrants, came across the border. Don't you remember CNN and Fox News all covering it? They all went down there.
They were going through the water, wading through the water.
Millions and millions of people coming across. When that happened and they were all let across, you got to start funding them. What are you going to do with them? You're going to let them starve? You're going to let them sit out in the cold and not have a place to stay? You got to fend them. So the funding is going to continue to go because what do you do with these people? What do you do with them? Unless you send them all back.
Well, I liked his idea of sending them to Angola. But Dave, I mean, this has become ridiculous. I mean, these people need to be held accountable. And I mentioned that Clintons and Frank said nothing will happen to them. Rob truly believes these are acts of treason and they should be perp walked. Do you think it should go that far? Do you think they're that responsible for the illegals that have caused crime, for the illegals who have caused us inflation, for the illegals that have caused...
They all share a level of responsibility. I mean...
There's no accountability. There's no accountability for anything that's done. That's my issue.
That goes for everything today.
Right. Look at it. It's wrong. But it's wrong. But there's nothing you can do. We're not in charge. We're not in charge. The people that we elect are supposed to represent us. They don't.
But they don't.
They don't. We're not in charge. You see all these hearings. We've had in the 8-9 months, 1 year that Trump's been in office. Realistically, we've had hearing after hearing after hearing. I've seen FBI agents. I've seen Department of Defense. I've seen the ICE. I've seen the Tom Holman in there. I've seen Democrats. I've seen lawyers. I've seen everybody testify to everybody, and who has been put under trial and has been convicted? Nobody. And they will not convict anyone. They're doing this as a show. They're trying to make everybody feel good. Here's what we're doing. Yay, but they don't accomplish anything. So why are we shocked? Why are we shocked by it? The only way to do it is to, this upcoming election in 28, Vote everybody out.
Yeah.
Vote everybody out.
But as Rob always claims, the 99% of people are ignorant or willfully ignorant. And they don't know the issues. They don't know what they're talking about. They do what they're supposed to do because of the news media, which is incredibly slanted. And that's why they get the votes that they get. He thinks people are stupid.
They're not ignorant. They're tired.
You think they're tired?
They're tired. They're tired of seeing the same rhetoric over and over again. They don't know no one knows what's being voted on in Capitol Hill. We ain't got no time to listen to that stuff. You got no time to investigate what bills are being passed or not. You trust the people that you elect to do the right job. The problem is that the people that we elect have all the loopholes in place to be the best criminals in the world. They accept money from lobbyists. They accept money from NGOs, from third party groups that give them influence money to be able to vote a certain way to protect or increase the amount of money being made by that company or firm.
Dave, one of the other things he said is people are not elected, they are selected. He does not believe the elections are legal. He thinks people are selected. And the only way to truly get in the right people is to have in-person voting. There should only, my guy Rob
His
Hill.
good friend Rob.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
You're not going to have in-person only voting. You're going to have, it's never going to happen. How you got military? The military has to vote.
No, I get that part, but I'm saying only in special circumstances should there be early voting periods, the mail-in voting periods. I mean, if you really want to vote, shouldn't you have to get out and vote? Don't you think that since this has become more prevalent since COVID, that it's made a huge difference not having in-person voting? You don't think 2020 Trump would have won?
I do think Trump would have won, but I still think there's the absentee voting should just go to select groups.
Yes.
But we shouldn't eliminate it.
No, I don't think it should be eliminated. I think it should be going to select groups. But the problem is it's available to everyone, especially the early voting periods, and that is what is causing corruption. That is what causes people to get into office that have no business being in office.
That may be true.
It is true. So give me credit.
Nice job.
I am. I'm about to fall asleep. So
yeah, well, I'm going to go to the suck and chuck. So what are you going to do about that? I got to get to the suck and chuck.
Laugh.
I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do there.
You got a lot of clients.
Yeah, I got a lot of clients to service. So just
well, at least it finally came out.
Right.
Yeah, I got a lot of clients to serve.
Right.
So honestly, if I came out and I said, Dave and Frank, I have something to tell you, I'm gay, you wouldn't be shocked. You'd be like, yeah, we know. It'd be like, yeah, no big deal. We know.
Yeah.
We've known for years. It's not a surprise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Could have told you a long time ago.
Okay. I'll end on my Uncle Tom has pleaded with me to ask this.
Your Uncle Tom?
He's the one that lives by you in New Jersey, and it's not racist.
Steve used to be black.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an Uncle Tom.
He has wanted an episode on transgenders for a while.
He wants an episode on transgenders?
Yes, because he's infuriated by it.
Oh.
And it's infiltrated women's collegiate sports, especially in track.
Yeah.
We've seen it in swimming. And he thinks soon we'll see it in college basketball, the WNBA. How do you think that is? Why are you
WNBA?
Well, college basketball and women's college basketball.
Britt Griner. This is I don't
think you can say that.
Why?
You should enter a pro team. You should enter a pro team, and then you.
I still wouldn't cut it. I still wouldn't cut it. I broke Swin Cash's nose in 2000, so that was the end of it.
They're going to create. You're saying they're going to create an LGBT
Call
team?
them the Chuck and Sucks.
The Tallahassee Transers.
But the transgender issue is becoming a problem in college sports. It's a huge issue in high school sports. What are the parameters?
How come that doesn't infiltrate male sports?
It doesn't, because girls know that they can't get good enough to beat men.
Physically, they would get slammed on their heads every time they try to do anything athletically.
Do you think there's any way? I mean, the NCAA has certain regulations for it. Do you think there's any way that it's going to change anytime soon? It's still going to be acceptable in track, swimming, depending on the school you go to, because colleges are liberal. And it's not going to be apparent in any of the pro sports. Yeah. Okay.
I just think before the competition, the NCAA guy is going to have to come in the locker room. All right, everybody, show me your cocks.
Drop them. Yeah.
All right, ladies, who has a cock in here?
First team all point guard from the Chuck and Sucks.
The Chuck and Sucks. That's right.
From the Suck and Chuck.
6-time state all-star.
Yeah.
Newly acquired for the Chuck and Sucks.
Yeah, it's the Suck and Chuck, not Chuck and Sucks.
Suck and Chuck.
Yeah, you got to suck it before you chuck it.
Right.
That's how it works.
The Worcester.
Yeah, that's how it works. So just if you're going to say it, Dave, just get it right.
Those Worcester Woolies, they're out of their minds.
The Worcester Woolies. Okay.
How do I know you're gay? You know the proper way to say suck and chuck.
That's right.
There's no. First of all, he invented the Suck and Chuck, so he should be the gay one. I don't know anything about the Suck and Chuck.
I just watched the news. They reported that.
They reported the Suck and Chuck on the news for Worcester.
Worcester at 11.
Worcester at 11. We're live from the Suck and Chuck.
Live from the Suck and Chuck. We have a gentleman. Excuse me, sir. What's your name? Steve Coley. Hey, Mr. Coley, how you doing? Why are you going into the Suck and Chuck right now? Oh, they got holes in the men's bathroom, and I thought I'd fill it up in my mouth.
Why would I?
Whose tongue has I know that tongue anywhere. It has a freckle on it.
I've been called for emergency overnight duty here at the Suck and Chuck.
Okay, that's lovely. So in a week from now, do you believe the Strait of Hormuz will be open? Do you believe Iran will bomb the water infiltration plants?
No, I don't think anybody's going to touch anything infrastructure-wise, because that's why Trump held off right now. He doesn't want to bomb the electric producing facilities. That'll take years to build that infrastructure back, and tons of money. He doesn't want to do that. No, not going to happen.
Okay. Dave?
How long do you think it takes for you to get through the Suck and Chuck?
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. Although now I know the iStorage on my iPhone, that deleting my search history on the
Pornhub.
Yeah, the Explorer
gay hub.
That'll delete a lot of information. So that's how I can get more storage, because it's so full of the Pornhub and the Suck and Chuck website. And
Siri, how long will it take me to drive to the Suck and Chuck?
Yeah, Eiffel Towers and
come to grips with it. Yeah,
the Eiffel Towering and all that good stuff. Yeah. Docking. I love docking.
Perfect.
Look up docking. Docking is a good one.
Docking?
Oh, look it up. Just look up docking.
I saw something about it on TikTok.
Yeah, docking is very popular among gay men. It's a very popular sexual act.
Can you imagine the guy on the gay website that swiped left for Steve to take him on, and he goes out to meet him, and all of a sudden, oh my God, look at that limp in the head. Holy shit, I'm in for a rough night tonight.
What's wrong with my head?
He's like, I'm docking you.
It's just a smooth ball shape. That's a sort of a male. You know what it is? That's prison life right there. If you had a couple tats, you would definitely.
I'm not going to win the election if I get tats.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, Dave. So great show. I appreciated your input and staying awake. I know it's challenging for you. Great.
Today I'm tired.
Great work on the website. We've gotten some people signed up, and we're continuing to work it. A lot of the guys are excited. It is built tremendously well,
Steve has asked me to finance a sandwich shop in Worcester, Massachusetts.
No,
Called the you did.
No, I did not.
You asked me to finance the Reach Around sandwich shop. Rump roast on the ticket every day.
No, I don't want reach arounds. I don't want to reach around.
The Reach Around sandwich shop.
Please, no reach
Worcester,
around.
Mass.
Turkey and cheese light on the mayo.
With a thick reach around though. Give me a thick one.
Hey,
give me a thick one there.
Hey guys, you want to go down to the Reach Around sandwich shop? They got a juicy rump roast there tonight.
Okay. I take back my compliment on your bread. Your bread sucked today.
You guys got any sausage and meatballs?
Oh God.
two meatballs, please. One long sausage.
Do you see how childish your humor is? This is so infantile.
It's so childish.
This is so infantile, the humor. Can I have two meatballs
It's
and a
so
sausage?
mature.
Dave, can you come up with a business song for the Reach Around sandwich shop?
No, don't tell him that. He'll have something written AI. I don't want that. And then it's gonna. So I'm gonna come into Tony's tomorrow and say, "Hello, can I just have two meatballs and one long sausage?"
One long sausage,
What is
please.
your weight? What is the cashier gonna think when I order that?
He's gonna say, "I'm sorry, sir, you're gonna have to go to the Reach Around to get that. We don't serve that here."
Okay.
Sausage only comes with cream.
All right. Well,
it'll be. Can MC Hammer sing that song?
All right.
Reach around, reach around.
Okay. This is just we've gone off the rails
Too legit.
again.
Too legit to quit. Boom, boom.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna leave.
You know what?
Cream,
All they have to do to get us through the Strait of Hormuz is send Steve Cully into Iran to meet with the
gay Ayatollah.
gay Ayatollah.
I'm here to service the new gay Ayatollah. This is Steve Cully.
Live from the Strait of Hormuz.
He's a great guy.
He's walking around like this. Steve would have no.
We sent in the best. We sent in the best agent possible. It's Stephen Cully. Stephen Cully has volunteered. We've contacted his family.
Taking one for the team.
We thank him for his service. He's going to go in there and service the Ayatollah, and then we're going to get this deal done in the Strait of Hormuz.
That's great, Dave. If you're never allowed to call pro wrestling fake again, you want to call me for reach arounds and the chucking sucks and all that stuff. I'll take it. We cannot ever call wrestling fake.
I gave the Ayatollah permission. I gave him the biggest permission ever to blow that ass up.
I will dock the hell out of the Ayatollah.
Blow that ass up.
I will dock the Ayatollah.
Excuse me.
Steamer, Blumpkins, whatever he needs.
Excuse me. Okay. I gave the Ayatollah permission to go in there deep and to blow the ass up.
To blow the ass up?
Yeah.
My ass or his ass?
Yours. He's the Ayatollah. He's a bomber, for Christ's sake. He's a terrorist.
I don't want him to blow my ass up. All right.
He'll be Dave.
You guys are all done. You guys are all done. All right. Asshole, voice of reason, asshole, Coach Human.
Can we leave with some Mamdani music or something? I need some Arabic.
Please don't play any Arabic music. We don't need.
Yeah,
Why?
It's a big Persian penis.
You gave the city back its speed. Now it's
There it is. There it is.
Mayor in the history of mayors.
We're sending it our best. We're sending it our best. Stephen Cully will be handling all of the gay needs of the Ayatollah.
This is the anthem of a dead-free city.
This is the anthem. It's the ass anthem of Steve Cully.
The ass anthem.
Mom, Donna.
So you basically just said I gotta go get my ass blown out.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
great.
hell yeah. But listen, you got to take one for the team.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna take one for the team.
There are millions that are counting
Yeah,
on you
they're-
to satisfy the sexual needs of the gay Ayatollah in Iran.
The gay Ayatollah in Iran. I can't wait.
Why is it not you?
All right. Fuck you and fuck you and life gives you lemons. Don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and we're gonna shove them right up my ass so I can get blown out by the Ayatollah.
There you go.